standing at the corner of Main Street and 9th Street in downtown Lynchburg. Coffee shops on your left, historic buildings all around, and maybe you're thinking about grabbing lunch at one of the local spots. But what if I told you that 15 years from now, this place is not going to look anything like it does today? Not because it's falling apart, it's actually the opposite. There's a blueprint, a master plan that's quietly reshaping the entire downtown core. And if you live here, you work here, or you're wanting to relocate here, then you need to know what's coming. Because the Lynchburg that you see today, that's just the foundation. Hey, I'm Adam Stinespring. I'm a realtor here in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I want to take you back to the year 2000. Downtown Lynchburg was bad. It was struggling. Vacant buildings, there was limited foot traffic, and more of the kind of place that you drive through, but you definitely don't stop and shop. But then something changed. The city adopted its first downtown master plan. And over the next 18 years, they invested more than $50 million into some public projects like the parks, like the infrastructure, some streetscapes. Private developers were soon to follow. Over 900 new residential units went up, loft apartments in old warehouses, and tax revenue jumped by $2.7 million just from 2012 to 2017 alone. And the downtown finally started coming back to life. But here's the thing that most people don't realize. This was just phase one. In 2018, the city adopted an even more ambitious plan, and it's called Downtown 2040. And it's not just about fixing what's broken, it's about reimagining what the downtown could actually become. It's a place where you don't need a car, where neighborhoods are connected seamlessly, and where the James River isn't just a nice, beautiful scenery. It's actually the centerpiece of downtown life. And the future of Lynchburg isn't just some vague dream. It's a 270-page roadmap, and it's already being built. So what exactly is this plan? Well, after reading 270 pages, here's the gist of it. If phase one was a patient that was being stabilized in the hospital, then Downtown 2024 is trying to make that patient run a marathon. The vision is bold, but it is simple. By 2040, downtown Lynchburg will be the bustling, thriving heart of Central Virginia. Yeah, you heard that right. Not just for locals, but for the entire region. It'll be a place where people visit, where people live, and a place that celebrates history while also embracing the future. And here's what this actually means on the ground. Number one, we're going to get more housing. For everyone right now, most of those 900 plus units downtown are market rate lofts. And that's great because it does provide a lot of housing. But there's a policy that's coming into play that takes it a step deeper. It's called the inclusionary zoning. This is a policy where new developers are setting aside a percentage of those units for moderate to low income families. And the goal is to make sure that downtown is not just for one specific type of resident. For teachers, it could be for first responders, for young families. That way they can live there too. The second thing is destination amphitheater. This is where it gets exciting because the plan calls for a 4,500 seat outdoor venue near the Bluff Walk. And it's going to be right on the James River. So imagine big name concerts, local festivals, in a place that puts Lynchburg on the map as a cultural destination. And here's the kicker. This isn't even just a plan anymore. This is actually being built right now. And from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it seems like it's coming along swimmingly. And think about what this means. Within the next year or two, you'll be able to catch a major concert with the James River as the backdrop. Local restaurants and shops will see waves of new customers. And it's the kind of anchor that doesn't just serve downtown, it completely transforms it. And the third thing is Foundry Park. About a mile downstream, there's a vacant 7-acre industrial site. And the plan, it's to turn it into a riverfront park with kayak launches, with playgrounds, with event spaces. And there's supposed to even be a zip line that goes across to Percival's Island. Imagine being able to launch a kayak in downtown and just paddle down the James River. Now that is a vision. Now here's where it gets interesting. You know how Main and Church Streets are one way? Well, that's a relic from the 1950s. Back then, they wanted to make sure that cars could go through as fast as possible. speed them in and speed them out. And it worked for commuters, but it was really killing the walkability aspect of downtown. Because here's the thing with one-way streets, they encourage speeding. They also create confusion for first-time visitors, and they also make it harder for restaurants and shops to thrive because half the traffic is literally not even going to see them. So the plan calls for bringing back the two-way streets specifically for those two. This is also under the works. Studies have shown across cities like Chattanooga and Pensacola that shows when you make this switch, the development will follow. Property values go up, businesses tend to do better, and pedestrians start to feel a little bit safer. Well, why? Because slower traffic means that people pause and can actually see what's around them. They stop, they park, they spend money. It helps. The plan also calls for something called complete streets. This means that every road is not just designed for cars now, it's designed for bikes, for buses, and for people to walk on foot. So wider sidewalks, protected bike lanes, better crosswalks. And the long-term goal is to make sure that downtown is a place where maybe you could even go and live car-free if you wanted to. But here's what really gets me. The James River runs right through downtown, and it's been there forever, and it's gorgeous. And for most of the recent Lynchburg history, we kind of ignored it. But the 2040 plan flips this on its head. So imagine a trail system, paved, lit, it's safe, that connects downtown neighbors to Rivermont, to Diamond Hill, and to Garland Hill, not just for recreation, but even for commuting. You could bike from your house to the office downtown and never even have to touch the main road. The plan even includes something called the River Edge Trail. It's going to be a boardwalk style path that crosses over the railroad tracks and connects Riverfront Park to Amherst County. And also on the John Lynch Bridge, they want to repurpose an underused lane and turn it into a multi-use trail that has a wonderful overlook. So think about what this does. I know that was a lot of details, but suddenly the river isn't just something that you glance at in your car as you drive by, but it's actually woven into how people move, how we exercise, and how we experience downtown Lynchburg. It's not really just an infrastructure, it's a little bit more of an identity change. And obviously we already have Percival's Island and the trails that are connected there, but this is the next step up from that. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Adam, sounds great, but it's 2025 and 2018 was 7 years ago. So has anything even happened since then? Fair question, and here's where the story gets good, because when I started digging into this, I expected to find that maybe some things were, gathering dust on a shelf, because honestly, that's what happens in a lot of these big cities with these big plans. It ends up being a big vision with almost no action. But that's not what I found. The city is in the middle of replacing a 100-year-old water line system under Main and Church Street. And yes, this sounds boring, but when you realize that when they're done, it means the streets will be completely rebuilt, new sidewalks, maybe trees, some new lighting, that's millions of dollars in upgrades happening right now, even though for most locals, it's just kind of inconvenient at this point. Also, the Academy Center of the Arts just reopened its historic theater. Grassroots local market is now expanding, and private developers are actually looking for sites to make some new mixed-use buildings. And here's what really hit me as I'm reading these 270 pages of this thing. We often think of city planning as something that's happening to us, right? The bureaucrats in a room are making all the decisions and throwing out all the money. But this plan, it was built with over 900 survey responses, pop-up events, public workshops, dozens of stakeholders were weighing in. This isn't some politician's pet project. It's actually a community vision. The community is making this real. So here's what I want you to walk away with. The future of downtown Lynchburg is not coming someday. It's literally being built right now. It might be one block at a time, one trail at a time, and one amphitheater at a time. But whether you are a homeowner, a business owner, or somebody who's thinking about coming here, this matters. Because the character of this city, what it values, where it invests its money, and how it treats its people, it shows up in the details. A city that builds some affordable housing along market rate lofts is concerned and inclusive of family. A city that converts a car-centric street system back to a walkable neighborhood, well, that's a city that prioritizes its people over its traffic. In a city that celebrates its river instead of ignoring it, well, that's a city that knows where its soul is. Is this master plan perfect? No plan is. It is thoughtful though, and it's happening. So next time you're in downtown, look around. Not at what it is, but what it's becoming. Because 15 years from now, when your kids are hanging out at Foundry Park or catching a concert at the beautiful Riverside Amphitheater or biking homes on the James River, you'll remember that this was the moment that it all started to change. Actually, scratch that. You'll remember that this was the moment that you realized that it was already changing. If this got you excited about Lynchburg's future, let me know in the comments. What part of the plan are you most excited about? And if you do want to read the full 270 pages, I'll put a link in the description. You're welcome to go read it. So thank you for watching. I'm Adam Stinespring, and I will see you at the closing table.